Hi there, good evening. Miriam with you today. How are you all doing? I'll just wait for some people to join us. Hi Lisa, how you doing? Excuse my arms as they're going over the camera. Hi Dawn. Great to have you back, Dawn. I'll give everyone a couple of minutes, but as you can see, I've got some of the fabulous new release in front of me. Say hi if you're watching. Hi Natasha. Oop, I've somehow moved my my camera, but I think that's fine. Right, I'll make a start. I'm going to try to be quite adventurous tonight. Hi Di, hi Medulla. I'm going to try to be quite adventurous and see if I can squeeze 2 cards in to show you using some of the new products. And both cards have different products, so you get to see quite a lot of them tonight. And in order to do that, I've done a lot of the prep. As you know, I don't like having to make you watch me die cut or anything like that. There'll be a little bit of inking, but there's no change there, I think. But hopefully I've made it as simple as possible. And my first card is going to be using these new products. So in front of me I have the Nested Scalloped Slims. And I don't know if you saw any of Lisa's shows yesterday, but these flew out. I knew they would. I've been after slim dies for a very long time. They're huge in America, and I know the trend is catching on over here, but they are perfect. And Lisa's price point is like nothing I've known. They're so much cheaper than the ones in the States, that's for sure. I haven't put these on magnetic sheets yet, but I will. But as you can see, you get a really big outer edge with this one. Then you get a lovely stitched edge, and then you get the apertures as well, and they're all really, really good sizes. So this is the first one I'm using. I'm also using this Edge Cuts Essential Edges dies in the gorgeous new packaging. I have to say, Lisa's products have always been amazing quality, but the new dies, the new packaging, really on point. I think they're absolutely fabulous. And these dies especially, you look at them and you think, oh, they're interesting, okay, what's I going to do? Oh my word. If you saw what some of the DT did with them, and I've had a play as well, and some of the effects you can create using just a few dies. And today specifically I'm going to use the scalloped one. It's quite a long die. You can see I've still got some purple tape on there. It's quite a long die, but the cut in these are phenomenal. So they're no longer the green dies, but they cut like, well, they cut like a knife through butter. That's the only way I can describe it. It's really deeply etched. They're really strong as well, but I'll show you what I'm doing with this shortly. And then the final new set I'm using for this card are the new Essential Words, and these are brilliant. I've been after words and dies for quite a long time, and Lisa's delivered, and I can only say thank you. They're absolutely beautiful, but this page doesn't do them justice. So what you get are the stamps. Oh, blimey, there you go. And you can see, apart from them being very well used already, you can see just how big they are. If you have a look at the size of my hand, and I haven't got small hands, they're really big stamps. And then you've got the dies to match them. And again, these are going to go on a magnetic sheet. Now I've separated them. Absolutely wonderful stamps, and they're just a dream. And you can see I've die cut a couple already for more projects. So that's the basis of what I'm going to be using for my first card. So I will switch over to show you how to start it, because otherwise we'll run out of time. Because you'll be fed up of me blabbering and not wanting to listen to the second card. So first things first, I've created myself a DL card blank, and in case you're unsure of measurements, the measurements I've used are 9.9 centimetres by 21 centimetres. So obviously it'll be 9.9 times 2, and then I've just folded it over to create my card. So that's that one. I also took a panel and I die cut the first frame. So this frame here, which has left me with this. And I'm actually only going to be using this bit today so that I can put it on the front of my card, but that means this bit, which again, you know, is a very good size, fits the DL card, this can be used for another project. Sorry if I'm not keeping up with all your comments. Hi Susan, I will get to them, I promise. I'll try and keep up as much as I can, otherwise I'll answer everything afterwards. So this bit can go aside for another project, and it's this bit I'll be using for this first card. The other thing I've done ahead of time, I've used Lisa's dots and spots paper, and I've used the pastel section. I haven't got the little label, I'm afraid, and these are gorgeous. So on one side you get these really beautiful little dots, and on the flip side you get the bigger spots as well. Really beautiful, and these come in pastel, and they also come in bolder colours, which are perfect for Christmas because you get your reds, your greens, etc. there. So that's those. And what I've done, I started off by cutting strips of 1.5 centimetres in width each, and I cut lots of them. What I thought I'd rather be prepared than not have enough, and I must admit I couldn't remember how many I had on my first one. So I've essentially just cut lots in readiness for the card, and then I've used the scalloped trim from the edge cuts to cut them all, and that essentially leaves me with my the basis for my card. And what I'm going to do, and please bear with me with this, I'm hoping you can see me, I'm going to move some of these out of the way just a little to give me some room. Excuse the fat arms. Okay, that's a bit better. And I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm just going to work up. And the reason I did that is that otherwise the layering would be on the other side, and I didn't want the straight edge layered, I wanted the scalloped, and I'll show you that as I go. And I'm just taking some glue. Use your glue of choice. I'm using wet glue just so I can reposition if I need to, and I'm not putting much, don't need to put much, just a bit at a time. And I'm literally taking strips of my scallop and I'm just going to lay them. Not worried about the fact they're over the edge at the minute, because I can cut that down and then obviously we can reuse those bits as well. So I'm putting them just slightly over, and I'm just going to continue with this. You can do it two ways. You can lap them so that they're perfectly symmetrical, or you can do what I've done, which is just overlap them, so you've got, say, the round bit there and the round bit there. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can lift this up a bit more for you. There you go. So they're not completely laying on top of each other. I'm just going to continue doing this with the others. Now please take more time than I am. I'm just conscious you don't want to be watching me just make pretty patterns on cards. You're here to learn and hopefully be inspired to have a go yourself with these fabulous new dies. So once I've got to that, I'll just keep layering up. And you can see I'm trying to just keep as close to the edge as possible, really, just because I'm a bit of a skinflint and I want to get as much as I can from the papers and avoid less scraps. But these are just beautiful, and this is such a simple card to make. Hi Lisa, hi Anne. Lisa, are you back in the land of the living yet? It was quite phenomenal yesterday, congratulations. The show was so busy, I couldn't believe just how busy the shows were, but no, congratulations for that. Totally well deserved, because these are amazing. But I may have told you that once or twice. Here we go, and you can see really easy. I mean, there's no special technique or anything in this. It's as simple as just losing your mind and layering some paper scraps, which is perfect. And this is the sort of thing you can easily prep loads of, like I did, prep loads of strips in advance and sit in front of the TV, doing it at night while you're watching a movie, however you want, you know. That's the joy of crafting. You know, as crafters, we adapt quite easily, I think. All I am doing, and I've learned in the past from this, is making sure I follow the same colours. So if I've done a green, blue, brown, yellow, pink, as I've done here, I'm making sure I follow the same colour pattern. But that's me. I mean, there are no rules, are there? You know, you do what you like and you have fun doing it. Hi Donna, great to see you. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Hopefully you're all relaxed. It's a Friday night. Has anyone got any nice crafting plans this weekend? Do let me know if you have. I'm hoping to get on with some more crafting and some Christmas cards as well. And I know that's a swear word, I know, but I'm really conscious that we're not that far away. And at this rate, nobody will be getting any cards from me. Normally by now I've done loads. The only different thing for me this year is I normally make cards for everyone at work, but we're still not back in the office properly, understandably, obviously. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of an odd one this year, I think. Ooh, there we go. And then finish off with that one. Oh, brilliant. So in case you're wondering, I cut 5 strips, 5 1.5 strips of each one of those papers. So you can see that's got lots to cut off, and that's left me with 3 more bits there. So once you've done that and it looks an absolute mess, give it, oh blimey, don't do that, please don't do that. But give it a really good press down, and then if you flip it over, you can see all the bits hanging off, and you're simply cutting those away. So do it however you would normally do that. Sorry, I keep moving away from the camera. It's because I'm normally cutting quite close to myself. Please take more time. I'm literally doing this quite quickly, but you can take more time. And all the bits I cut off, if they're big, they'll absolutely go into a little bag for my next project. There's something quite satisfying about using scraps as well. I don't know if you agree. Oh, Natalia's making Christmas cards as well. And you, Mary, a crafty Saturday. I look forward to seeing all your makes as well. I love seeing what people create. So much inspiration out there and so many talented people. Just, yeah, brilliant. Just packing, Lisa. I think you're going to be packing for days with how busy those shows are. Maybe I ought to just send somebody round every now and again with takeaways and coffee for you and Danny. Make sure you're still getting going. So there you go. You can see how easy this is. Nothing difficult. Please take more care, because I'm really not taking as much care as I normally should. And this is nothing that hasn't been done before. I mean, you know, this is not something I've invented, that's for sure. Cards like this have been done many a time over. There you go, that'll probably do for me. Ooh. So if I just push that aside, excuse the hands, there you go. So that's what I'm left with. I'm not too worried about it looking a little bit picky at the moment, because that's where my little frame comes in. So you'll remember this is the one I die cut the shape out of, and this is what's essentially the waist, but I'm creating a little frame with it. So all I'm going to do, you can do it to the frame or you can do it to the card. I'm just going to quickly put a layer of glue down. I'm praying my glue, I'm terrible with glue, it gunks up so quickly, and this is my last one of these glues, and then I've got some lovely pin flare bookbinding glue to start using, and that's much easier to use and doesn't gunk up as much, which I'm really looking forward to, because I'm not the most patient person when it comes to glue that doesn't work properly. There we go. So I've just gone around it really quickly, and I'm just going to lay my frame over. And there might just be at the end a couple more bits you just need to cut away just to neaten it up, but you can do that a bit later on. There you go, and as you can see, that's completely transformed it now. So yeah, I just got to get rid of that little bit because it's going to annoy me where I've not cut it straight. I've always said that getting my law degree was really easy, but don't ask me to draw or cut in a straight line. I just, nah, can't do it. Don't ask me why. Even with the best scissors in the world that says they do a straight cut, they don't for me. Oh wow, was it Lisa? Lisa's saying it was her busiest show to date, and to be fair, I'm not surprised. The pick of the day itself, so the Slimline dies, absolutely phenomenal, and then all those amazing amazing stamps and other dies that went with them. Wow, and those papers, oh my goodness. Did you guys see those wonderful watercolour papers? Needless to say, they are on my shopping list to purchase. There you go, so that's much neater. I've still got a little bit, please ignore it, but I'm not going to keep you here all night. Now, if you really like plain and clean and simple, you can leave this exactly as it is. But me, I like things just a little bit more defined, a bit more edgy. So I've just taken a Stabilo all pencil. You can use other pencils, you can use watercolour pencils, whatever you like, but this is mine of choice. And I'm just really quickly going over, well, around, sorry, my little scallop bits. And this will just define them a little bit, and I'll be defining the outside of the card as well with some distressing. So I'm doing this quite quickly. Again, take your time. You know, the thing about crafting is that it's enjoyable, and you know, it's most of our ways to relax, I think. So just lose yourself in the moment. Again, this is the sort of thing that you could just do in front of the TV. This is where I stop talking because I'm concentrating and crafting, and I have to remember you're all there watching me. Don't worry if you go wrong a little bit as well, it doesn't matter. It might be a bit that's covered up anyway, who knows, we'll have a look in a sec. But I don't want to bore you to death, so I'm going to keep going. And you can see the difference. If I just stop for a sec, I did say it before I did this bit, you can leave it plain if you want, and plain still looks great. I love the plain, but you can just see the difference the little bit of pencil makes. And to me, I love that. I just love being able to just show that off a little bit. And it also shows just how beautiful these scalloped edges are. And you can see now also why I started from this end and worked up, because otherwise I just have the edges, the straight edges. So if I started here and here, let me move out of the way a sec, I would have just had the straight edges to, you wouldn't see the scallops at all, and that's not what we wanted. And amazingly for me, I actually thought about that before I stuck anything down for once. Normally I just blindly start gluing stuff down and then think, I've done that one wrong. And I know I'm not the only one. Lisa, thanks for putting the links up. I really appreciate that. So Lisa Robson's putting the links for the products I'm using. So if you want to go to Lisa's shop, Lisa Horton's shop, and have a look and have a bit of a spend. The products from yesterday won't be on there yet, but they'll be on there in 13 days time now, because they're always exclusive to Create and Craft for the first 14 days. But yeah, absolutely. I don't think there was a product in yesterday's show I thought I won't use that, or I'll only use that once or twice. Absolutely amazing. And you could tell, because I think we all felt the same, hence why it was so busy. Right. Although I should ask Lisa Horton whether Prudence is getting royalties for making her appearance in your stamps. I'm sure she'll be speaking to somebody with copyright law about that. So now I've done that. Again, you can leave it. You can leave it just as it is. But I just want to soften that slightly. And I'm using, I'll show you what I'm using. I'm using the water brushes that Lisa has, and they come in a pack of 6. and they're brilliant value for money. And you get 3 flat brushes and 3 round brushes. The flat brushes I think are fabulous if I'm doing some sort of watercolour background, or you know, just adding some colour blankly to a background. The flat brushes are just phenomenal for that. The round brushes, I love a little more detail, and that's what I'm doing here. My brushes are really big, they're really easy to hold, and the best thing about these is they come with a little push mechanism in the middle, and that's what releases the water, and I find these much more useful. I've bought some quite expensive brushes in the past. In fact, I've bought one that have been more expensive than this whole pack of 6, and just trying to get the water out has been really quite testing sometimes, and you all know by now that I have the patience of a gnat. So I'm just going to get this going. There we go, I can see the water coming, there we go. And very quickly, I'm just going to do this. Just looking at the time, I'm probably going to be a little bit over 7:30, but I hope that you'll all bear with me. I know quite a few of you wanted to see both cards. I must admit, I've been rambling so much. I've not been getting on with it quickly enough for you. So here we go. What I might do is just finish this little bit afterwards, because it's showing you the technique that matters. There we go. So let's pretend I've done all of that. And you can see again just the difference that makes, which I love. So let's finish this card off. I've just got some ink. I'm using my favourite Distress ink. You can use whatever ink you like, and I'm just edging. Ooh, blimey. I'm rushing now and not taking my time. So just to give the edges just a bit more, to draw the eye in. Because see, I need to cut that a bit more as well. I'll probably need to get my craft knife out and I'll do that properly. But what I will do is post my finished cards on the Facebook page so you can see them. But we're almost done with this one. So that's the main card, and then you don't need to do too much. It's got plenty of detail in it. So what I did was stamp and die cut just for you. And in my original card I used Happy Birthday, but I thought this one would be nice as just for you. And I'm simply going to just put a couple of foam pads down, just to give it a little bit of lift. I'll just put a few, she says, and then adds loads. And then hopefully my lack of nails won't impact too much here. While I've been talking to you, it's gone really dark outside, so I'm pleased you can't notice that. I've got the blind to my craft room open. I mean, the days are certainly getting dark much earlier now. There you go. And on my original card, I put my just for you there, my sentiment in the middle. You can put it wherever you want. Obviously, you know, there's no right way, but I think for this one, I'm just going to put it by there. And again, ink around the sentiment. I should have done that, but never mind. And then to finish the card, I'm just using some of Lisa's pearls, and I've decided for this card to use the AB pearls, the spearmint. And I get these out, and I'm using the pokey tool as well, which is my most favourite item ever, I think. I was always quite sceptical, but these are brilliant, completely changed me. And I'm just going to put just a few dabs of glue random. I never know where best to do this. If anyone's got any hints or tips about where it's best placed to add gems on your cards, please do share them, because I never know. I just do it randomly and then think, oh, maybe I should have put that there. Right, so let's get some out. There'll be better ones there. There we go. Ooh, got one stuck in my finger. So I'm just going to pick them up. Such a beautiful colour. Now I have to remember where I've just put my little dabs of glue. One over there. Ooh. So these come in 2 sizes. You've got the larger ones, which is what I'm using, and and the smaller ones. And I think I've just done one by there. I'll just probably do one by there. There we go. And there you go. So that's the first card done. Well, almost done. I will finish doing the using the water brush after the live, and I'll post that a bit later. So as you can see, really nice and simple, just using Lisa's new products and some papers, and fairly simple but effective card to make. It can be used for any occasion as well. So that's the first one. And then I thought I would introduce you to the poppy a bit more. So I've got some products here to use. I'm going to be using the torn slim edges. These are my absolute favourite. I love those edges. And the wonderful poppy dies. And there's so many dies in this pack. And you even get the option as to what way you want your leaves to go. You've got the little grasses. Just a phenomenal set, and so many dies as well, absolutely beautiful. So they're the two sets I'm using, and then I'm also using the Pretty Petals paper and the Worded Sheets Volume 2 for these. And again, as for my first card, I've already die cut everything so that you're not watching me play around so much. This way I'm all fingers and thumbs. Okay, so again, I just have my card blank. So I've created my DL card. It's a 9.9 by 21, just to create that card there. Then I've got the edges. So I've got this beautiful torn edge, and then I die cut the stitched layer to go inside there, and you can see that fits beautifully. But I'm just going to very quickly add some ink around the edges for this before I put it down, just so it stands out on the card. This torn edges one, absolutely stunning, and you'll have seen that some of the team in their project yesterday, they used the torn edges to create mountains, to create hills, all sorts. Very, very clever actually. I never would have thought of most of it, but so wonderful. This set is, well, they're all my favourites, I know, but there's so much you can do. I just love the jagged in. If you like distressed things like I do, and you love the bit of a vintage look, having a torn edge is just perfect, 'cause it means things don't have to be at 100%, and you know, life isn't 100%. Just going to quickly get these glued down. Now 2 seconds I talked to you, the glue started bunking up. There we go. Just very quickly. Glue these down. Thank you for all joining me this evening. It's always lovely to have you, even though I can't hear you. I can only see comments popping up. There you go. So already you can see that's really effective. And then I've got some Pretty Petals paper. Now the paper pad is a 6x6, but obviously a DL card is taller than that. So what I've done is taken 2 panels that will fit perfectly here, and I'm going to join them with a little bit of just some ribbon I had in my stash. So before I, ooh, blimey, bit of Velcro there. I'm just going to quickly, sorry I keep taking this off camera because I've got a habit of pulling everything towards me when I'm crafting on my own. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this down. You can put some foam pads on these if you want, and I think in my original card I did actually, but rather than you having to watch me remove foam pads all night, I'm just going to quickly do this with some glue. This paper is absolutely beautiful. It's so vintage and perfect, and oh, Just love it. There we go. Lay those up. And then you can just add a little bit of, actually I've just remembered what I did. I added this before I glued that last layer down. Let me just cut these off and I'll tuck them in a bit later. It's a bit long. It's like electricity going through that ribbon. It's literally static and stuck to me. There we go. And then I'll just quickly, so what I would do, so what I did with the first one, before I put this stitched rectangle down, I did this so that it was all nice and tucked in, but I'm just going to tuck in quite quickly. Well, there we go. Perfect. Okay. So that's essentially my blank. I've then got my poppy to put together. And what I've done with this, I've used some olive card for the greenery bits. And I've used some of the Pretty Petals paper to cut out the actual Pretty Petals paper. Blimey, I hadn't thought about that before, and I won't be able to say it. To cut out the main poppy bit. And all I'm going to do is start layering it down. Oh, all fingers and thumbs. Right, Miriam. Hope you've all had a good week though. Man, I don't know about you, but this week has flown by. It's Friday before I know it, which is good, but I just can't believe where the week has gone. So the set comes with a couple of different types of grasses, which are beautiful because it just helps ground your poppy as opposed to your poppy being in thin air. It gives you different stems. I'm not going to glue all of it. There we go. Gives you different types of stems as well. You can just don't do what I do. I'm getting everything stuck to me now. There we go. And you can just tuck that in quite nicely there. There we go. Get that straight again. There we go. Perfect. And then you construct your poppy. So I've chosen the one that's going to the side. I just think, I mean, poppies are, you know, they've got so much meaning, but they're also beautiful flowers. So very special and perfect timing as well for the time of year. Okay. And you just layer it pretty much how you want to. Just ink these as I go. Actually, before I put that one down, I need to put the little centre down. I've just used, so that it matched my word, I just used the back of one of the wordage bits for my little centre. It would be nice to have all of this in dimension, as I said, but rather than you watch me take backings off. I've got a very rare day alone tomorrow. Dan's got his last drive, I think it is, of the year. And yeah, does that look right? Don't quite think I've done that right. I might have to fiddle with that in a bit. And Lisa's thought of everything. She's even got the little bits, I don't know what you call them, I'm not a flower expert, I'm afraid. Just for here as well. Don't think I've done that one quite right, but I'll have to, no I haven't. I will have a fiddle and do this afterwards. Oh. Yeah, no, I'll have a fiddle with that afterwards, sorry. I'm not going to start ruining it now. I've got one of these little leaves as well. The leaves on their own are really, really useful, these beautiful leaves. Just going to dab a little bit. There we go. And then finish off with a sentiment. And for this one I've chosen Sending You Hugs. thanks Natasha. I think they're really beautiful as well. I tend to go for blues and browns and things like that, but to have such a beautiful palette is quite lovely. There we go. And I've just remembered the one thing that's literally been under my hand for ages. I used just a little bit of cheesecloth behind my first card as well. So I'll probably pull this and add the cheesecloth. But I've used sisal as well and done all sorts as well. But there you have it. It's a bit quicker than the first one. And I'll fiddle around and I'll pop it on properly. But there's my second card. So if I just bring them both in, I will finish them off straight after this live. And I'll post the pictures so you could see the finished makes. But so two fairly quick makes using Lisa's new DL Slims, so her slim dies, and some of the new dies that go with them. So thank you for joining me this evening. It's been great fun. Can't believe I actually managed to get the 2 cards done, but I'm pleased I did. And I'll finish them off very shortly and show you. But have a great evening, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.